Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love once again. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott in a budget hotel on the outskirts of Washington, D.C. Welcome again, brothers and sisters. I'm excited for all who may tune in and join, whether it's in the real time with me here and now or at the later time. Or it's a different time. Praise God, man. I am filled with inspirations and thoughts again today as we share another, what's the right word? It's a video documentary. It's a record, right? A vlog. I think that's what they call it. A video log, a diary of me. So for those who know, recently, I drove from Spokane to Washington, D.C., checked in last night. Had an amazing day today. I slept in, after the alarm went off, I let it go. And still woke up a bit kind of travel worn and wary. But due to the generosity of others, right? Contributions I received yesterday, as a matter of fact, it was for me confirmation that go ahead and spoil yourself, Jack. So I went out and got a nice massage today, and because of the generosity I received, I shared generously with the therapist. And Frank didn't speak English very well, but man, he sure loosened my back up, and I feel much better. The human body, what a complex system, this organic vessel that we take for granted, we ignore, we complain about, we abuse. Or maybe that's just me. That's how I used to be. I'd always complain about my body. I didn't understand that what I was putting into me actually made a difference. It really matters. My life experience, by the way, this Live Without Fear is a part of it. The Jack Talcott story. We're not done. We're just here. So those of you who are already here for this Talcottian adventure, God's got something special coming up for us. I'm confident of that, because my life, ooh, baby, man, it is a crazy story. The Live Without Fear is part of it. I got to practice what I preach. I got to face some fears I didn't know I had. And part of my story, right here, credit where credit is due. This is inspired by one of the viewers, World Economic Forum. I don't know if I've noticed them in the chat yet, but it might be a Tal quote of anyway. But as Jack came out of confusion, the world went in. And not the entire world, just the world that I was in. The world around me went into deeper confusion. They were clinging on to things that weren't even there. Resentments and all of this. Anyway, my own personal testimony, part of the Jack Talcott story is the world around me became confused by a rapid transformation that I experienced within myself. Outside of me, everything was the same, right? Same car, same house, same neighborhood, same body, same. Everything looked the same, but inside, everything changed. So today, the inspiration and the thumbnail, the graphics, everything, man, it's inspired by viewers from the past live streams, my past online experience. And what that does, it reminds me I'm not alone. I'm not alone in the adventures I've participated with. Neither are you. we're in these adventures alone and apart and then alone. So, oh wow, play on words. A part of a couple or more, and then we're alone. And then we're apart, and then we're alone. Um, I salute. I salute and I appreciate all of you who have found your way into my world again today. Because, man, the hotel in the back, man, that's what it is. Washington, D.C. or bust. Well, I already busted, so I thought, why not? Head to D.C., man. My goal is to become a better influence, right? To be a good influence wherever I go. And golly geez, man, Donald Trump and the rest of folks in Congress, they need a good influence. Austin, you've got some negativity, brother, but let's look past it. Because you're right. This is true. Undeniable. God definitely has something special in store for us. It's called death. That's where our ego leads us. But see, when we learn to walk with the Spirit brings us back to God. And God is the eternal beingness. This is what I was wondering, man. Praise God. And sincerely, this is based on other comments, right? Yes, our poll, Jack does DC. I'm going to do more of me. There's something I can do more of, right? Becoming more. That's the key. Brothers and sisters, the simplicity of life, oh my God, it's so delicious. The simplicity of life is so delicious. It shows how divine life is. You're supposed to become greater than you were, greater than you've ever been. Now that's not possible without God. Okay? Nothing is possible without God. But if you want goodness, go to God. Be with God. Know God is with you and for you, and then you be with and for God. I know God has love. For those who remember the love sign that used to sit above my shoulder. Well, the love is still here, man. So, Jack, I took us way off track there. Yeah, Jack's starting in DC today. And then this. Oh, here. Rose, yes, and. Yes, and. I mean, I thought about pulling over to send an email to some of the organizations, because with an email, it's easy to forward and share, and they can look at the words and kind of consider what I'm saying. I spent some time working on that today. I'm reaching out to the organizations, Veterans for Peace, Code Pink, World Beyond War, and that's exactly where Rose is thinking. She's amazing, right? We need dream big and imagine imagine and manifest the Code Pink people baking without fear cakes at the Capitol. Even bigger, Rose. By now, the Code Pink people, they've got a reputation. They're known, right? They've been around for a while and they're kind of established. So they know people. They know people in the media. They know people in Congress. They know senators, aides. They know people and directions. Those are the things I want. So my hope is to connect with one of these peace organizations, hell, some of the churches, anything. I've been hoping to connect with that for a long time, but the goal is, brothers and sisters, my love for God has brought me here to Washington, D.C., with the belief that if God allows me the chance, conversations with me and Donald Trump and him, his team, his advisors, the men and women of Congress, conversations between us could actually do the world some pretty cool things. Because, man, I'm inspired again today. I really am. There's a couple of thoughts that I could go on and on with developing and unpacking regarding creating space. Space creates freedom. Space is found in the unbound. Space is found in the detached. Space is where God is, right? So create space in you, in your mind, in your heart. Create space to be wrong. Otherwise, you'll never know if you're actually right. There's a lot of people running around in this world thinking they're right, moving by emotions and habits. I'm speaking from experience. I used to live a subconscious life. But by God's grace, I have awakened to different ways of thinking. God has allowed me to identify a lot of my darkness, a lot of my confusion, a lot of my fears. And all of those things go together. The darkness, the confusion, the fears, those things are going to lead to ignorance and stupidity, foolishness. Fools, man, fools do repeat their fools. Fools just stay in these habits. Spinning the wheel, right? Good little producer, good little consumer, pay those taxes on time. That's the American dream, man. Holy shit. Holy shit. So, Austin, if you're still here, man, I've been going on and on about this. Where's that comment at? Praise God for creating us who know better. Us who have seen through this enslaved hell realm, the evil hell realm that nobody wants to live in. Praise God for creating us, because we find joy and love and happiness in spite of those things. I know you do, I know I do, but how much joy is too much? How much is too much of a good thing? I mean, in the scripture, it talks about, the fruits of the Holy Spirit, to which there is no limit, to the goodness, the patience, the kindness, the joy, the laughter. I'm feeling pretty relaxed. I had a nice massage. I did, in fact, enjoy an edible as well. So, the panel is open for those who may wish to join. I haven't paid an awful lot of attention to the chat, but seriously, guys, when this is shown to be true, which I trust that it will, this being me and what I've been talking about with this live without fear, it's no joke. It is no joke. God is not a joke. You're not a joke until you show yourself to be a liar. See, because liars are fools. Fools, they can't be trusted. Fools are always playing games. They're always exaggerating things. They're always looking to make others and themselves look foolish. So we live in a world where foolishness and selfishness have been predominant. They've been conditioned, normalized, right? The entire world is pretend. What are you pretending? What are you pretending to be afraid of? Because if you're not pretending to be afraid of something, then you'd be living the life of your dreams. Audit the oddest. Tell me if I'm in the right place. You are. To believe you are in the wrong place would just be denying the obvious. That wherever you are, you're in the exact place you're supposed to be. And as you go through wherever you're supposed to be, you realize, oh, I'm where I wanted to be. Because I chose to want to be wherever it is that I am. So if you always keep in mind that wherever you go, you're going where you chose or some consequence of the choices, then you can rest easy in your heart. And then when you're honest about what you know, what you don't know, and you're conscious about where you go and where you don't go, life gets a lot more simple. Okay, back to some of the earlier thoughts. Our God, man, praise God often and with sincerity. Praise feels good, right? I'm addicted to praise. Learning is delicious to me. Intelligence, that was one of my thoughts the other day. How I view intelligence is my God. It's my authority. The most intelligent, I'm going to bow to wherever that intelligence is. I mean, at least for the moment, for the circumstance. But intelligence, there's a higher intelligence than you or me. We can access greater levels of you and me when we join together. Because when we join together, the energies of intelligence that you are, that I am, when we come together in harmony, we synergize. I mean, that's all this reality is, man. It's all just light and energy and the consciousness of it. It's the awareness that you need to become intimate with. What are you aware of? What are you not aware of? If you confuse the two, you'll literally drive yourself insane. See, a liar exaggerates. I've been dealing with a lot of people who love to exaggerate, and that's why they don't know anything, because they keep lying to themselves and ignoring the obvious. And the obvious fact is, if you lie, you are insane. Praise God. See, the teachings of Jesus, it's truly the only way to be with love, to walk with love, to love one another, to love God, man, love God. You can't love anything except what you're aware of. And if you don't think about God or the things you love, man, they're not in your life. This is from experience, and it's obvious. It's logical and reasoning. A child can understand, and I think a child does. Children come into this world, man, more wise, and then they get told they're wrong, and they become more like the foolish parents who go to jobs that they hate to pay bills for things that they don't really need or want. And watching people live as miserable human beings, you don't have to live that way. There is always another way to live. If you're unhappy, let's change. Let's change starting today. If you're unhappy and willing to admit it, reach out to me. We don't have to do it publicly. We can do it privately, but I want people to end their own suffering like I did. It was the wisest choice I ever made, committing myself to becoming honest, placing the truth above all else. That's simply what I did. So if you restore that practice to you, you may not be perfect all the time, but love is perfect. And if you humble yourself to love and you walk with love and you're honest and true, well, that's pretty perfect. It's perfect for those who get to receive you when you walk with love and you're honest and you tell the truth with compassion. That with compassion part is one that Jack's working on, man. I got, well, What worked for me works. I was a dick to me. And I know sometimes the truth hurts your feelings. It hurts you feel, coming back. Shame. Shame. Shame keeps you away from goodness. Guilt. Shame, guilt, resentment, all of those things. But shame most of all. Those keep you away from all that is good. God is good. Don't let your shame keep you away from God. God is love. God reveals the truth. Love reveals the truth. If you want to keep your shame, you can, but it's best to give that shit up, because there's life after you let go. There's life after you kill your shameful part of you. But you can't do anything to that which you don't know. And if you've never felt your shame, you've been in denial. Whatever your shame may be for. Part of my own shame I had to process, and this is why some of this is coming up. It's relevant to what I was saying. When I finally started awakening to my choices and becoming more mature, right? More emotionally intelligent, more self-controlled. Once I started overcoming my old habits and feeling better, holy shit, does it feel good to live, man. Every day I wake up, it feels amazing. Even when I don't feel good, even when I got a pain or something that's irritating, I still feel amazing. It blows my mind, but I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to resist it. I'm going to continue it. I'm going to continue growing the practice of feeling amazing despite whatever. You can do it too. All you got to do is be willing to change. But the kingdom of heaven, man, it's no joke. This shit's yours right here, right now. God allows it and you choose it. But it's up to you to maintain it, nurture it, the kingdom of heaven. You got to grow it. You got to practice it. And those who seek God, I'm pretty sure God, we're going to face the darkness, going to face some opposition and confusion, and I have. But God and the angels, or whatever it is that's beyond what I can comprehend, something's been keeping me safe. Something's been keeping me going. And I've been trying to figure it out. What is it that's keeping me going and not letting me go these other directions? Well, it's a number of different variables. Truly, it comes down to love. What would I love to accomplish in this lifetime? What would I love to do if there was no limits to what could be done or accomplished? Well, when I found the organization Veterans for Peace, and then I started learning about alternatives to the wage slavery, fractal reserve, monopoly money, fiat debt currency system we've got, when I started learning about alternatives to this garbage wealth and poverty nonsense we've got, that's when I found my purpose, man. Ending wars. God kept me safe. Even though I raised my hand and I served consciously and voluntarily in the active army, God kept me safe. Kept me safe, kept others safe from me. And so by the grace of God, I was safe. Now, friends of mine, brothers, they saw things and they did things that changed them. I lost them, and they're still alive. They're suffering from confusion and moral injury, and I know they're not alone. So I'm here in Washington, D.C. for the purposes of ending wars. So there's nothing I'd rather do. And when I started learning about life and success, more than just what my friends and family had taught me. Once I started learning from those who spent their lives learning, I started learning from those who spent their lives doing, right? Experiencing, studying. My life transformed. Learning new ideas allowed me to start thinking bigger. And thinking bigger years ago, it led me to where I am now. It's amazing how there's so many circular happenings, at least in my adventure, watching my life. There's so many things from the past that have and do keep coming around, and Washington, D.C. is one of these. I brought myself to Washington, D.C. 7 years ago when I was thinking boldly. I met with the Chief Executive Human Resources Officer and the Employee Engagement Manager at the United States Postal Service in 2018. And I thought things were going well. I was just looking at the calendar here, April 26th. I had come back from the meeting and things were still being communicated and worked out through email. And the idea was we were moving forward around this time, that I would start coordinating with their team and their program, kind of feeling each other out. So the attorneys were involved sometime around this time as well, but I was still at work. So it's interesting. That was 7 years ago for me, Washington, D.C. And here I am again. I plan to try and visit some of those same people, or at least their replacements, the people holding the positions. I hope to revisit them sometime soon. We got a couple of guests here, and I'm going to bring this up. We'll see. Red 40, this is what I was just saying. Yeah. Last time I went to Washington, it destroyed my life. What could possibly go wrong this time? I have nothing left to lose, man. That's the whole point. Nothing.
Jack, good afternoon, Jack. How you doing, buddy?
Feeling
Listen,
blessed.
I called in to say hi, man. You're looking good. I would say trim up that beard a little bit, man. If you're gonna go see the president, you got to get it shaped up straight. You know,
I probably will.
just
I
a
was
little
thinking,
edge.
yeah.
After that, you know, I mean, but the other thing is, how's your spirits, man? You look like you're in a nice little fucking hotel there.
It's kind of a dive, but it's clean, pet friendly, and inexpensive. So it's working out pretty well. And I think as far as I can tell, the internet service is stronger than it was in Kansas City.
Been traveling around, Jack? How you been, brother?
Feeling blessed.
You never know. You never know what life throws at you, right? And maybe something's gonna open up that you never expected.
That's what life has done throughout my life. It's opened up in ways that were unexpected. So that's what I've been learning to do. I now watch for the unexpected. I no longer sleep. We live in a world where people like to sleep at the wheel.
Okay, you're saying metaphorically. Okay.
Metaphorically. Yes.
I was gonna say, if you were an insomniac, that would fucking suck totally, Jack. I mean, I wouldn't be able to deal with myself if I was that'd be fucked.
Until I started practicing meditation, I thought I had insomnia. That was my excuse for drinking. I just had an overactive mind. That's all it was.
But you said to go to sleep. That's how you did it.
What's that?
You used it like the justification to go to sleep or something. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was a big one. But the more I started practicing meditation, the more soundly I sleep and the less sleep my body requires. It's amazing. It really is how these bodies work.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
welcome.
Oh no, it's this guy, Satan himself.
Hello. Hello. Hey, Jack. I have insomnia. I've had various stages or phases of insomnia for decades, actually.
Go
So
smoke
that's why
crack.
sometimes I'm.
Would
Go
you be
smoke
willing
crack. It'll help you.
to change it?
I can't hear when the guy's talking at the same time as you. What did you say?
Would you be willing to try and change it?
Yeah, I have tried to change it with well, I tried cocaine and
I mean,
different
with
things like
me.
that. Oh, with you. Oh, with
Yeah.
you.
With Jack.
Well, Jack, are you going to sing me a lullaby to put me to sleep? Or I'm not sure what you mean. How do
That's a
you
thought, Jack.
mean?
That's a thought.
We can discuss the symptoms and then generically go into the causes behind the symptoms and most
Jack, he's trolling the fuck out of you. Your manager said he used cocaine to try going to sleep.
Hey, Cage, we're going to get along real well when you don't interrupt me, okay? Please.
All right, Mr. Talcott.
Thank you, brother. Because I can understand. I don't need details, but I understand how that sucks. And my first suspicion is, like me, it's probably an overactive mind.
Yeah, my mind is very active, Jack, and I don't have anything like I used to smoke cigarettes, as I've mentioned here before. I quit smoking about 5 years ago. So that kept it's when you have an addiction like that, it helps in a way, in a weird way. It's not healthy, but I was able to sleep better when I was a cigarette smoker when I did certain things. But once you drop those addictions, it can be
Do you mind
there's
if I
things
give you an
more
idea
things on your
too?
mind.
Do you mind if I give you an idea too?
Is this that big fat guy, Scott? Who is this?
Yes.
Okay,
The
go ahead.
fat?
Go ahead.
Do you enjoy fat? Calling people fat?
No, go ahead. I wanted to hear what you said. You were rude to me earlier
Jack, first,
when I came on.
well, I apologize. That wasn't intentional. First
Yeah,
off,
it
your
was.
comment to Cage earlier, that was a boss level confrontation. Good job there, Jack. So, you just held it together and said, "Hey, we'll get along great if you just step back." Now, as far as going to sleep when your mind's racing and stuff, I found, of course, cannabis has been a great friend, but also
I
just
tried it.
painting
It
your.
doesn't work for me.
But listen. Paint your mind
Go
black.
ahead.
Just concentrate
Go
on
ahead.
black and darkness. Try not to think about the words. Try not to think about the colors that are around. Close your eyes and try and drift into blackness. What I've noticed is images will come forth in a gray. Okay, and I honestly, I'll tell you what, I try and interpret what images I see come out of the darkness into the gray, and they fade, and then they move, and they fade, and I'm sure it's the iris in my eye or a number of other things creating this. But in total darkness, I see this faint light. I try and interpret it, and it helps me drift faster than anything else.
Interesting. Thank you. Well, sometimes I get hungry late at night. I'm not poking fun at you, but I might see cheeseburgers or something in that light. I do get
Hey,
this is a true story. I do get hungry. My doctor said, "Hey, don't I have acid reflux. Don't eat after midnight. Don't get up and eat something." So I try not to
it's
get up
not
and
nice
eat.
of your doctor to say you're an asshole reflux.
Well, he's accurate. I kind of am. So, hello,
Oh,
Noel.
me
Good to
too.
see you.
I have acid reflux too, gastroenteritis, whatever they call it. But the the late at night eating thing. Remember this and keep this in mind, big time. If you're eating and then going to sleep, your body's not going to sleep. It has to process that shit you just put down your gullet, so you
Yeah.
won't get rest that way.
And it's not good to lay flat when you've eaten something and try to sleep
Absolutely.
that way. I know so I've tried to cut that out. I give myself a cutoff time for when I eat and go to sleep, but Hello, Noelle. Are you doing okay today? You've been looking sad and quiet lately.
Despondent, a little bit tired.
What's wrong with her? Is she going through something?
She's,
Looks like she's on the ground sideways somehow.
she
Looks like
doesn't.
we got a downward view looking up.
She used to talk more on panels.
Yeah.
Hello, Rose. Good to see you.
Hello, King Stephen. It's good to see you too. And I'm here to hopefully represent a certain segment of the insomniacs of this world. And I think that there needs to be less trying to explain. Once you've reached a certain level of insomnia, I don't need to hear anyone's advice about. I'm just using this as an example. This isn't a jab at you, Scott. I'm just saying, like, I smoke all day, every day, dabbing, and obviously that is not helping my insomnia. Like, I've literally tried everything. So my hypothesis is that when it comes to my kind of insomnia, it's that I do not require the amount of sleep that most humans do, and it's about choice. Sometimes I simply do not want to turn the light off. And I realize when I do decide to turn the light off that it is easier to fall asleep. However, I could lay there in pitch dark for 10 hours and be wide awake because I have so much to think about, and I'm thinking about so many things all at the same time. So it's about making that decision to stop. And I don't think there's any chemistry that could help me except my own will. That's just my take on it.
Well, that's a great point, actually, because
Go
I'll
ahead,
let
go
you
ahead,
go first.
please. No.
Okay. Well,
I digress.
If it was, I just wanted to say that that's the part that sucks about insomnia, is laying in bed in the dark and thinking I could be doing this other stuff. This isn't working. I'm not falling asleep. And I think that's why we get up and start working on something or doing something, drawing, painting. I'll start writing. I'll make a video. I'll do something instead of laying in the dark, because that's the frustrating part where it's like, I'm just laying here doing nothing and I can't fall asleep. So I'm going to have to wear out my mind somehow. Sometimes I'll stay up all night and then I'll go hiking for hours the next day in the woods. And then I'll fall asleep during the day. But I'll wear myself out.
You should learn how to control your mind.
I agree.
Yeah, I was going to say exercise is really a great tactic.
Keep
right?
going, Jack. I want to see where Jack's going. Hold on. Cage, let Jack finish his thought. Yeah, I know. Jack
Cage has bad timing.
Cage has horrible timing.
Please, Jack, please, because that thought I think was right on target.
It's what I learned. It first was my theory that this is what the Buddhas and what the spiritual teachers were teaching. My theory was they were teaching you to have a constant mind of meditation. And my life exposed me to actually some very enlightened people when I was young, but I didn't understand and I didn't recognize what I was seeing. Holy cows, which is now what I'm experiencing.
Uh-oh.
What I was trying to say, if I can quickly, was, yeah, you know what Sadie Michu said? He goes hiking and then he's able to, for hours, and he's able to get some rest, right? So physical exertion can help you, right? Just simply tire yourself out physically, and I'm sure you're going to go to sleep. You know.
Well,
absolutely. That's when I sleep. It's because I'm physically exhausted is how I get sleep. And also, I just wanted to comment on the cigarettes. I quit smoking cigarettes in 2017, and the ritual, or like just it gives you like a mental break, because even though you don't stop thinking, it's like for that 10 minutes that you're smoking the cigarette, you could kind of recalibrate and have a plan. So it adds a sort of structure. When you wake up in the morning, you're gonna have the morning cigarette. It's a time to force yourself to go outside no matter what the weather is. So yeah, I do think that I slept better when I was a cigarette smoker as well, King Stephen.
Rose, I don't want to cut. Okay, you muted anyways. You did invoke me when you came up originally. I don't want to disagree with you 100%, but at the same time, there may be a few other things to try. I mean, you say you just may not need to sleep, and that may be true, but I quit smoking in 2019, and you know that's something that I did since I was literally 13 years old, straight up, just smoked pack and a half, 2 packs a day for the longest time. And yeah, I'd say that it does kind of give you a mental break where you can step away from things, go outside, regroup, come back in and shoot your shot, whether it be in a business meeting or in, just a family affair. But
Totally.
I do think that when you lay down to go to rest, that it's important. And I think there's something that's
You
called
guys have
circadian
no
rhythm.
fucking clue.
Let
No
me just
clue.
finish this thought and I'll turn it
Of
over to you.
course,
Okay,
it's
Jack?
always another thought, but please.
Circadian rhythm. Well, may I? I mean, here, excuse me. Let me defer, Jack, please.
No, please finish.
Wait, I'm so upset by how upset Jack is that I really want you to stop and just let Jack go now. Look at him. Look at Jack. He needs to explain to us why we're so wrong. I need to know.
You have no clue what you could be learning to solve the symptoms, but focusing on the past, I guess you guys have your own ways, and other ways are helpful as well. I don't mean to diminish it, but
I agree that Cage has no clue, though, Jack. I do agree with that. He has bad timing, and he's showing off knives in a ring, and he's just on here to make it about himself, I think. And that's
El Diablo
unfortunate.
makes a good point.
this YouTube.
I've just never seen Cage. Sorry, Jack. I've never seen Cage come to a panel to listen and learn. And that's unfortunate. There are people here that are here to listen and learn. And I didn't want to sidetrack things with the insomnia, but it was a topic when I came on. Let's get back to Jack escaping lies and focus on Jack's mission here. Let's not get too sidetracked and derailed.
Or, maybe I missed an opportunity because we can discuss solutions for insomnia. Because there's value in some of the things that were being said about envisioning paying attention to what your mind is doing and bringing a focus into the blackness, into the darkness. Exercise and all of that stuff that is healthy as well. The number one thing is what I said. You start practicing meditation, a slower mind. Slow your mind down. We've been taught to be hyperactive, and we've been conditioning ourselves to be anxious. And the problem is people are running around only partly understanding each other.
You're right, Jack. You're right that slowing down the mind is the answer. And the only way that I seem to be able to do it is with benzodiazepine drugs.
Chad.
I to so badly be able to slow down my brain and retard myself naturally. I want to be more stupid at will, selectively.
Rose, I love you.
I've never been able to
taking
retard
Xanax?
myself. I've never been able to retard myself like the ones in the chat room. There's a bunch in there that seem to be naturally at that pace, and I've just never been able to do it.
Let me shoot back at you, because the last thought I was having before, Jack, I wanted to defer to you because this is your panel. But I was thinking of circadian rhythms, that we have to keep that. It's important that you kind of keep a structure and do your best. And what I've noticed is, like, Cage in his infinite wisdom, or I think, his moment of clarity might have said, if you wear yourself out, it'll be easier for you to sleep at night,
Don't choke on a fucking cheeseburger, you stupid fuck.
Hey, come on.
Oh, wow.
Hey. If you were any smarter, they'd cut off your head.
I'm gonna force feed you cheeseburgers. Hey. Fucking shut the fuck up.
And at any rate, the more you do, the better off you will sleep. And then, sometimes I think even the better your dreams. But I do a lot of reading, and I think that's what helps to tire me out. Obviously looking at the screens, because most of it's online, that I do a lot of, research and stuff. But holy Toledo's.
How come all of you are so fucking fake? It's unbelievable. You're all full of shit, aren't you?
Yeah, you are right. You're the one with the brown eyes.
How come no one has asked Margot how she's doing? She's been here for such a long time and has been so.
Hey, Margot, how are you doing? Cage is so negative. He's just very
I'm such a
disparaging.
negative person.
So negative. Hello, Margot. How are you doing?
Margaret has her mic muted, so I was afraid she wouldn't hear me.
Maybe she gave up and she's doing something away from her computer where she can't unmute immediately.
She might
Well,
have
let's just
wandered
say
off.
this.
Maybe
Please.
she might have wandered off. She might have been cursing out Cage with her mic muted or something. And
She's having
she's
issues.
just
She'll be back.
She'll be
She'll
back.
probably be back. Yeah, I think so. Margot's a gem.
I also want to comment on the insomnia topic, but anyway, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask you, Rose. I mean, it sounds like you do have some serious problems, and you know, I wish you the best with that. I mean, honestly, I don't know what to suggest, but you know, they're wearing yourself down. And same to you, El Diablo. Get yourself into you know, kind of a habit of maybe. Oh, you know what I heard? I did read something about this. Just literally 2 days ago that you can break that cycle of when you're going to sleep by getting out of bed, going to the shower, taking a hot shower, holding it on the back of your neck for a minute, as hot as you can stand it, getting out of the shower, putting it to cold, then stepping in when it's gotten severely cold and stew it for a minute, and then go to bed. Dry off and
That's
go
a
to
good. I
bed.
thought
And
you've been getting sponge baths, Scott.
I know that, you know, it was nice when you did that for me, but you know, you stopped doing the happy endings and kept wanting to fucking sit on me. Stop doing that, you creep.
That's some weird ass shit.
I actually left the show because I got kind of tired of hearing about Cage and Scott. This is Jack's show, and Jack, it's nice to see you. You look rested.
Thank you.
Good, I'm glad.
Margo.
Did you get your massage yesterday? I know your panel went kind of late, so I thought you might have called it a day.
I went to sleep right after, and I did go get a massage today though, and it was amazing. I feel much better now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Was it a
good.
good
Did you get a
Oriental
happy ending?
massage, Jack?
What's that?
Was it an Oriental lady?
No, it was a dude named Frank.
Oh fuck, that's even worse.
That's the worst name. Frank. Fuck.
An Asian
Was
dude.
his last name
Monday?
Johnson?
So it was an Oriental
Frank
massage
Johnson?
then, but it was just named Frank. Okay, so I was right.
Was it Frank
What
Monday?
the fuck? It was...
Frank Monday from China?
Look at Jack laughing in the background. He's like, what has he been on? Is this real, man?
This is my real life, dude. It really
Is
is.
this real life? Oh, Jack, what happened to the love sign? You said yesterday, I think, that you don't have it with you, but do you still have it?
No.
You didn't take it.
Jack
It's
takes
another
love
thing.
with him. He doesn't need a sign.
Yeah. I it's one of the things I sacrificed, but I do regret. I didn't need to. I could have captured it, brought it with me. There's a few more things I could have done that with, but I didn't. There's no going
Who has
back.
the famous love sign? Is it still somewhere?
I have no idea. Margot said she talked to the inspector who went through the place after I left or some shit like that. So she apparently knows more than I do.
Margo on the street.
What were they inspecting it for? Were there bugs in there, or what was it?
No,
Rodents?
it was a typical inspection to see what the value of the home is and to
They
see
do
if there were any
yeah.
repairs needed, stuff like that.
They do a broker price opinion, and then they'll bring in an appraisal afterwards. But the first thing they want to do before they spend any money is get a local agent to come in and tell them how much it's worth.
What was the appraisal? Did they say?
I don't know. I didn't see the appraisal. I just talked to the gentleman that does the appraisals.
Did he give you any
Are
rough
there any
values?
hot
or
maids
how
where
do
you are, Jack? Sorry. Are there any hot maids where you're at staying? No.
It's a beautiful home. It needs a little bit of work on the outside, but Jack only used a very small percentage of it, I'm assuming. It's a big house.
How many square feet was it, Jack?
Ask Margo.
Is that the one on Cambridge Lane?
Yes.
Yeah, how did I
I
know
guess
that?
we should
I know
ask
everything
Cade.
about it. You know, you could pull that up in 3 seconds.
And Marco, how many square feet?
How did I know that? I could tell you the appraisal value right now. You want me to look into it?
It's probably the county.
I measure in inches, not feet.
So it was what, 6
The
inches
last
times
sale
about
amount was
150,000 strokes?
$154,900. The last sale on the house.
154,900.
Yeah, but that's when
$154,900.
Jack bought it. It's more than doubled in
What year
Oh,
was
yeah.
for
that,
sure.
Marco?
It's definitely way up there now. That was
What
the
year
last
was
time
that,
someone
Cade?
bought the house.
What year was
You
that?
can't get a decent house here for under $1 million where I am.
I bet Jack's house is worth close to $500,000. Maybe.
The pain that I can feel coming from your facial expression, Jack, is hurting me. I feel like I might be projecting. So tell me if I am, but I just remember what it felt like when I left my place that I cherished so dearly. And it wasn't really after I had lost it that I truly realized exactly what I had lost. And so I just want to honor that you're going through those emotions right now. For me, that was 2016. And it still shocks me, this life adventure.
I agree with you, Rose. You know, when I sold my house a couple years ago, it was the house that I raised my children in, and when my son passed away, and I just had to, and I know Jack's really good at this, pack up the good memories and take that vibe with me. You know, I mean, it was over. That chapter of my life was over. I don't know how you feel, Jack.
Yeah.
How do you think I feel, Margo? Particularly after the things you've been saying about me, which are I still maintain are untrue. How do
Well,
you think I feel, Margo?
I thought that we had turned a corner and that we were in a good place.
You know, things have certainly changed, but yet nothing has changed except your appearance. You haven't undone anything that was done. You haven't offered anything to help me move forward. You're still playing this game, and I don't know how to describe it. But Rose, thank you. And Margo, thank you. Think back to you, right? My son didn't die, but he was taken from my life. I had all these dreams of my son returning to that home. The one you and Charles want to dox, you know, just share my address and just no give a shit about Jack, right? No care whatsoever for me as a human being.
I think everyone cares about you, Jack. Everyone
No,
cares about
Margo.
you. Yes,
Hey,
I
Margo,
do. Yes.
what do I receive from you? Do I receive care or accusations and warnings and
I would hope that we are living in the now. I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad you're in Washington, D.C. I hope that you prove me wrong and you
why
meet.
don't you help prove me right, Margo?
Well, last
Why
night
don't you do what is right for
last night
once with
last
me?
night I recommended that you reach out to Bumgardner.
I know you're
He might
full
know
of
you, Jack.
advice. Why don't you do something, Margo? I've lost my patience with you, Cage, and Scott. So please, thank you.
Well, did you see my chats, Jack? In the beginning, I thought perhaps we should try to call these organizations and have it be while we're live. Let's find out how people respond when we explain that you have arrived and that you are a disabled veteran with a message for peace. And that, you know, I can act kind of like a a kind of like a representative or a secretary of sorts, and then pass it over to you. And that will be your elevator pitch to see how they can help you. And we want to get you that help. We have to take steps. I know I'm not forcing you to make phone calls right now on your stream. I was just like throwing that out there, brainstorming. But what can I do for you right now?
Anything you want. You can do anything you want. Who I am is a man, you know. I've driven from Spokane, Washington to Washington, D.C. The purpose is to try and find a way to end wars, to get the government to reform so that there's no more wage slavery and depression and lies and all this nonsense. I'm trying to serve God. Anyone who wants to help me, please try.
Okay, well, King Stephen, you are here at this time of need. You haven't said anything for a moment. How do you feel about a 3-way phone call to an organization like Disabled Veterans for Peace or Code Pink? And forgive me for forgetting the third organization that's always listed in the description of Jack's videos.
I'm not that into 3-ways. I do have a long-term girlfriend, so I missed part of that. But you said something about a 3-way.
A conference call. We're gonna make a phone conference call.
Oh, a conference call. I'm sorry. I heard was 3-way. Or how? What are your thoughts on a 3-way? I missed part of that. I'm sorry. I thought you were asking me if I wanted a 3-way. Okay, a conference call with who? Jack and someone else?
And an organization that would be interested in helping a disabled veteran who has made a pilgrimage to Washington, D.C. after a 7-year hiatus of solitude. Maybe we can throw in a little bit of a COVID buzzword, get them interested in this man's story. He is just showing up without a plan, and he's asking us for help. And I know that there might be people out there that find it very amusing, but if people just want him to literally walk up there with no plan and just knock on some random door and not even have cameras to document it, so that we should
definitely have a camera crew. I do agree with that. If anyone's in the DC area, maybe they could help out Jack with filming. If there's a photographer or somebody that's good at audio video, they could document and help him out that way. Somebody that could offer. There's got to be people listening right now that are in the DC or Virginia area. Tarek is probably better on the phone than I am. Honestly, I would say that I'm kind of phone shy. So Tarek, if you could help Jack out that way with a 3-way phone call.
Of course.
Have you spoken with Jack before, Tarek?
What do you mean?
On the phone call.
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay. So you guys are familiar with each other.
Yeah, of course. I will help Jack.
What did you say? Could you repeat that? It sounds like your mouth is full of candy or something.
I'm sorry. I mean,
thank you for having me back, Jack. I apologize for bringing things up that triggered you. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Margot.
Oh, Margot.
And no, Dark, it's not. Margot's actually been very, she's presented herself very cordially, respectfully.
I had an idea, Jack. I'll put out a letter to Baumgartner letting him know that you're in Washington, D.C. I don't know him. That's someone I don't know, but he probably remembers you because he watches the city council meetings. So he's definitely going to see your efforts, and if I get a response from him, I will forward that to you.
Please
I will.
share my contact information and my hopes as well.
I
Um,
don't. I text you a couple weeks ago, Jack. I don't know if I have your current number. Did you get my text?
I did.
Okay, all right. Then I have your number.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
will email Bumgarner's people tonight.
Please do.
They probably won't get it till Monday morning, but that's okay. It'll be in his list.
Thank you, Margot, sincerely. And
Yeah.
I've been looking at myself and wondering, have I been unfair with you? And maybe I have, but Margot, I'm dead serious about this. My opinion. I mean, I'm reaching out to organizations that say they want to end wars. Now, I can only connect with the parts of the organization through the people that I encounter. Well, I had to give up on the local chapter in Spokane. They weren't listening. And so I'm hoping to find a human being within the organizations of Veterans for Peace, Code Pink, World Beyond War, any elected officials, anyone who wants to be on board with this. It's time. It's time to end wars. We've got the answers. We've got the solutions. The only thing we don't have yet is the willingness. Well, I was reluctant to actually get off my ass and drive all the way here. I thought we could do it through electronics, but that wasn't to pass. That wasn't the plan. So I'm here, and I know if given the chance, face to face with some of these elected officials where they actually give a shit about what I have to say, they pay attention for a committed period of time, I think we can make a difference. And I'm talking about ending wars, trying to save human lives, trying to make it better. I'm pretty sure that's God's idea for us.
And Jack, you and I go way back, and we go back and forth and back and forth, and I trigger you sometimes, and but at the end of the day, I'm glad you're safe, and honestly, I hope you prove me wrong.
Thank you, Margo.
I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, you know my opinions, but that doesn't mean that I want failure for you, and it doesn't mean that I don't care about your well-being.
Can I ask Margot a question, Jack?
You can ask.
Margot, what are you? How are you aware of something called parental alienation?
Yes.
That's more commonly done by women, but men do it too. All people do it. Doesn't matter, but more commonly it's done by women. Do you believe that there's a possibility that there's some of that with Jack's ex and his son going on?
I don't know. I don't know.
That would
But
be horrifying.
but let me respond. But knowing what Jack has shared with me, I believe that there was definitely some alienation when Jack wasn't in the place he's in now.
Margo, you're
no, Jack.
This.
Jack,
listen to you, Margo. Listen to you.
Jack, I'm supporting you. I'm supporting you. I want you and your son back together.
Right. And actually, Lou, I genuinely appreciate that question because Margo, you had to have been able to consider the fact that Gina, who had a financial interest in separating us and, really going after me, you couldn't imagine that she had something to do with separating me from my son. All this time, you've been focused on all these ways you could blame me. And just now, that's what you did.
Jack, I was grieving my son during that time.
God.
And I was raising my two other children.
Holy cows. I was talking about your behavior with me.
Right now?
Yes, Margot.
And I've always said I believe that your son will be back.
Okay, I know. Great. Thank you, Margot. Welcome, Jesse. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, Jack and everybody. Just doing
Hi, Jesse.
some gardening, planting some tomatoes. Interesting conversation. Thought I'd pop on, say hi. Glad you're doing okay, Jack.
Hello, Jesse. How are you feeling today? Are you okay? Okay. I know him a little bit.
Hey,
I watch his channel.
this
Sorry, go ahead.
topic of escaping lies, we haven't really gone into it a lot, but this is exactly what I'm proposing. That mankind collectively, we unite together and escape what lies have done. Lies have destroyed families. Lies are involved in wars. Secrets and lies are evil. I'm experiencing the result of people's secrets and many lies. It's what God has shown me. So in my own path of recovery, right, through the 12 steps, the power of honesty is truly a big part of it. And I learned to truly embrace that aspect. The truth sets us free. The freak, thank you for this reminder. Doug Tolino, I mentioned him. I know that name. I know of his work. And if I remember right, I have a lot of respect for him and his work. He's a very intelligent and reasonable man. And from what I heard, he's now the acting postmaster general. So it could be an incredible time if God allows it. If God allows this to align, man, maybe I can get 30 minutes with Doug Tolino. And with him, we can make a lot of changes. A lot of differences can come together. You bring the right ideas, the right people together at the right time, man, miracles happen. That's what God shows. Jesus was the one man that reveals the miracles that God shows, right? He had it all together. Me, I think I'm figuring it out, but no external miracles have emerged with me, but I trust. God has me on a path of learning. So far, the only one I've healed is myself, but I feel healed. I feel whole. And back to the point, Jesus was the one who really had it all together. But when we unite together as one, we become so much greater than apart. That's what love does, man. And love comes in many shapes, many forms, many colors, many energies. Love is mystical. Love is amazing. Love is God. God is love, right? You know love, you know God.
Yes.
If you
And
know,
Jesus turned water into wine. That was a miracle. Do you think that was literal, like a literal thing that's written in the Bible? Or do you think maybe that was some kind of parable, metaphor, some teaching that you can turn something metaphysically into something else holy? Like, you get what I'm saying?
I get it, and I don't know. There's a lot of mysteries to every aspect, the order of the stories and everything. And I mean, it's in the end, this life, our God, the one who Jesus spoke of, the Father, the one who sent him. He was like the front runner for us. We're supposed to follow him and his ways. That's what the teaching was. And what was his ways? Hey, go to your neighbor and share some love with your neighbor, your friend, your family, whoever it is you encounter. Share some love with them and encourage them to talk to God. God is the truth. The truth is The truth matters. Without the truth, families crumble. My son has no clue what he's missing out on, Margot. Neither do you. Neither does Charles. Neither do all these people who want to hold on to their doubts. You know, they want to fight, be right. Yeah, Snafu, another perfect
example. He's one. He's a bad one.
He's crazy.
A bad one. He's a nasty one.
What's he missing out on, Jack? Can you give me an idea?
My friendship. That's an obvious one. And with my friendship comes a lot of love, comes generosity, comes encouragement, comes support. With my friendship comes a lot of good. And hello, that is God. The best relationship any one of us can have is with God, the Most High, that which allows the truth to be known, right? Because that God is all there is. So walk with love. That's what I've learned. The way of Christ, it's literally the only way you want to be logically. I can explain that conclusion 100 different ways. So what does it mean to be like Jesus? It means to be perfect, or as close to it as God allows. We do stumble. We slip up. Sometimes we lead ourselves and lead each other's wrong. But there's always time to fix it. And that ties us back to what earlier in the monologue when I was talking about shame. One of the things I felt shame about, and I had to process shame, is why did I wait so fucking long? Why did I wait so long to change, to do what is right, to devote myself to the mystery of God? To devote myself to becoming more healthy, more wise, more independent. Why did I wait so long? I got no excuse that's worthy. Therefore, I had to process my shame. But I confess my sins to myself, to God, to the Almighty, to the universe. The Creator is always with us.
May I ask you a question?
What's that?
May I ask you a question?
Please.
Did you give yourself grace during that processing time? I hope so.
Jack, this isn't an official visit because...
Hold on, Tommy. Sorry to mute. I muted you, so please be respectful. Margot, I had to learn grace. And it was a wonderful opportunity for me to learn that. And as I learned, because people around me weren't giving it to me, so I did. I had to learn grace for myself, and now I've been learning how to share grace with others.
Oh, welcome. Is that your new buzzword, Jack?
It's one of them. Welcome.
Is grace the new buzzword that you're probably using improperly?
It's one of them.
Anyway, Jack, I'm just stopping by to invite you to a test panel later because there's some things we don't claim. I never rode around saying, oh, I was a badass. I have this thing where I can dig down deep. Other people told me that. So you do not tell us you came out of confusion, Jack, because it just popped in for like 30 seconds. I'm kind of doubt it. But I'd like you to come get put through the station 33. Is Jack still in his confusion test?
I respect.
My phone's about to die like my parents did at the circus.
For Stephen, like, do you have any room?
Is that a golf course?
Queen Stephen in the tunnels?
Hold on, I couldn't hear any of it.
I couldn't hear that. You have roadkill in your mouth.
What did you say? I want to disrespectfully ignore whatever Lou said.
Fair enough. Tom.
The invite's there, Jack.
Tommy.
Invite.
Yes. I accept, I respect, and I respect your offer, and I appreciate the invitation. I intend to join you later, as you said. Thank you. Holy cows.
Holy cows, man. Snow is thinking about his penis in the chat room. That's incredible. I'm sorry, Jack, but she mentioned it. She mentioned it.
Jack, how close are you to Washington?
I'm here. I actually drove past it. I'm on the northeast side, outside of it.
Of DC, Washington, DC, right in the capital?
He's there.
Wow. Congratulations, man. May all the blessings with you.
Thank you. I'm prayerful and hopeful. I mean, and what Rose mentioned, sending an email or reaching out to these people, they may not get it until Monday, but that's my plan. As I mentioned, I haven't hit send yet. I'm still cleaning up some of the words, but I'm emailing to the organizations that are in the description. Should anyone want to be a part of this, feel free to reach out to those organizations as well and encourage them. Hey, look for an email from this guy, Jack Talcott, or here's his number, here's his info. Please and
Jack,
share what's going on.
I was just on Bumgardner's website, and I'm going to email him tonight. And then he's got a local phone number for Washington, D.C. as well. So I'll call on Monday morning and just say I would like Bumgardner to check this email. And then I'll put your contact information in there. I did use one of my Spokane addresses, so it might appear like I'm still in Washington, but I thought that might get me a little bit farther than using my Arizona address.
I agree. Thank you, Margot.
Forwarding his number to Jack would be great too.
I actually already called the local, the DC office. Today's Saturday. I think I called on Thursday, and their message says they've been experiencing high volumes and please be patient. So I can imagine.
Red said he wants to send Jack $50. He said in the chat room, he said he's got 50 on the table to boot Steven. Well, you got to show your money. You got to put your money where your mouth is, Red number 40. You didn't send him anything, so send Jack the $50 and I'll drop down off the panel if you send the money. But you haven't sent anything that I've seen, Red number 40.
I'm gonna drop down for nothing, Jack. I will
for free.
I've given you my information, and there's a little bit of effort to show my good faith, and I will see you later. Have a good night.
Thank you, Margot. I appreciate it.
See you later, Margot.
Bye, Stephen. Bye, Noelle.
Take
Love
care.
you, girl.
I trust everything is coming together somehow, some way, and it's going to be perfect. It's going to be better than we imagined. Because that's how I found myself to be. I found myself to be better than in ways than I never imagined myself becoming better. Here, I'm in Washington, D.C., right? So a couple of notes. It's good to write out thoughts, who you are, what your goal is, what your purpose is, who I am. I'm a man who wants to be a voice of reason amongst those who have been given a voice. In other words, to the senators and congressmen, they've been given a voice above others in our nation, and I'd like to join them as an equal, as a citizen in this free land, and share some ideas that maybe might, here, the next one, I hope to help grow leadership into greatness. Grow leadership into greatness. First, you got to become a leader for yourself, of yourself. The best way to lead, in my mind, give yourself to God. Allow love to lead you. The facts will be what the facts are, good, bad, ugly. Sometimes the facts are painful, but love, stay with love, and truth is always on your side. So I've been studying leadership. In my life, I got to experience and receive education in leadership from the U.S. military. to the American Postal Workers Union. I received training from the local labor council and all sorts of different places. So I hope to help grow leadership into greatness, and I am on a path to change the whole world. I figure Washington, D.C. is a great focal point, right? We'll use the truth as leverage, Washington, D.C. as the fulcrum. And there's that old adage, right? You get the right fulcrum and leverage, you can move the whole world. That's what I want to do. Hey, welcome to Denizen, and feel free, guys. Thank you.
Hey, Denizen, are you a leader? Jack spoke about leaders. I was just curious. But let go and let God, I think, is a good message that Jack was kind of speaking about. Hand it over to God, because we can't handle everything.
Why don't you let someone else speak, Stephen?
Oh, Lou, I'm sorry. I haven't spoken for I don't know how many minutes, but
Right.
do you have a stopwatch on me, Lou?
No.
Yes, just shut up for a little bit.
Oh, Lou, come on.
Let's
Be
hear
respectful of
Dennis.
your king. Be respectful of your king. Maybe I'll buy you some teeth one day. Go ahead, Denizen.
Shut up,
What's up,
sir.
fellas?
Welcome, brother. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
Good to see you, Denny.
You braved back into the insanity, the online YouTube realm, man. Praise God. Praise God.
It's been pretty chill here
part
lately.
of it is,
I have to hand it to
part
you.
of it. Part of the insanity might be Lou eats roadkill, so that contains certain things that can cause psychosis and different.
No.
Yeah, there's parasites in roadkill, Jack.
There may be, but there's symptoms of insanity all around, Stephen.
Even without him eating roadkill, do you think he'd be? If he stopped eating roadkill and did a parasite cleanse, do you think Lou could be somewhat
Denison
normal?
speak for a minute? You didn't even give him a chance to get going. Shut up.
Go ahead,
sir.
Denizen. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Go
agree
ahead,
with
sir.
you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been kind of busy the last few weeks, so I haven't seen all of your streams. But it's been pretty chill from what I've seen for the past couple of weeks or so. I think you changed something, and I blame you for the improvement.
You blame him. Do you think the road has done Jack well? Do you think that his travels, getting out of that town, maybe has been helpful for his mind and well-being, or was it the massage that he got?
Getting outside is good for any man. You know, we're made for it. The most important thing for men is sunlight and fresh air. We need it.
And new
we can't
scenery,
really be
though,
ourselves
right?
when we're stuck inside.
But do you think seeing new scenery rather than that same room and house has helped Jack? I think it's been beneficial to see a lot of America, the scenery.
Oh, of course, yeah. Travel. I mean, I think it's good for the soul. Personally, it's one of my favorite things.
Oh, look, I pressured somebody to give Jack money.
Holy cows. Stephen, thank you for joining. Red 40, I'm going to abide. Stephen, I'm sure
you are a god amongst men, Red. A god amongst men.
I'm sure he'll understand. And Stephen, thank you sincerely. Red 40, absolutely. I can abide by that. Holy cows. It does change the energy. Stephen has been.
How much does it? Sorry, Jack. How much does it cost to like rent just a normal hotel room? Like, what state you say you're in? Washington D.C.
I'm in Maryland actually right now, and I think it was $62 a night through Priceline.
62 American, so that would be like $100 or something Canadian. That's actually not too bad in today's world.
Seriously, Exactly. I've been pleasantly surprised at some of the low cost. I really expected I'd be sleeping in the car more or sleeping at a campground more. And I may still head that direction, but for now, I'm
Do you
feeling
have a
pretty darn
tent?
comfy.
Do you have a
Oh, yeah.
tent and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got everything
that
I
should
need.
that should make it easier through the summer months. And it's nice to camp out in the summer.
Here, you know what? I know you can jinx yourself by sharing your goals because the devil likes to play games with that. But here it is. We're nearing the end of April. I've been planning on success for an awful long time, Lou. And since leaving my home in Spokane, I got to visit and reconnect with some of the Talcott, my dad's side of the family. And my goal is to succeed here in Washington, D.C., to such a degree that me and the family return back to Utah for Father's Day. That's my goal. And that's in early June. So I got about a month. That's my game plan. End wars, end wage slavery, and then be back with family for Father's Day.
What do you think of the possibility you might have more success ending wars if you went to Israel?
I disagree. The funding has been through the American taxpayers. If Congress hadn't been approving the spending and the militarization of Israel, that genocide and human atrocity would have been done long ago. But the people have lost power. The people have lost control of the United States. It's being run and driven in the pursuit of profits and glory. That's imperialism, colonialism. That's what America started with, but it's not who we are. We've grown, we've matured, and there was a true seed of freedom and goodness planted within the dream, the American dream. It's time for us to embrace what is natural. What is natural is not war. That's a lie. What is natural is love one another. That's God's will. No matter what direction of religion you want to turn, the result is love one another. Love people while you are here, because you don't know when you're going to be gone. You don't know when the things and the people you love will disappear. I'm testimony of this.
Hey, Jack, I'm going to go. I'm visiting with my lady friend, but good luck. Have a good stream. And I hope you get to where you want to be.
Much love,
Peace.
Lou. Me too.
Peace.
Blessings to you. This has been a crazy adventure, man. This online journey. Actually, the human life has been a crazy adventure when you stop and think about it. That's all we really are. We're an experience, an adventure through consciousness, energy, taking form. It's a glorious, magnificent creation. It's all temporary. For a little while we're here, and then poof, we're gone. But there's a different way to live than what we've been taught. The ways of working hard and, build big fences and strong locks, right? You got to defend yourself and arm yourself. The world we've been raised in, it's completely backwards. Taught us to work for what we get. Instead of looking at how it really is, we're rewarding each other, either with our labor. We're rewarding the organization and the business with our labor, our attention, our energy, our time away from our family. We're rewarding them. The business rewards with a paycheck. So conversely, when you're the consumer, you're rewarding the business for their service, for their value, with your sign of approval. If we change our system, our distribution system, instead of a taxation and debt system, we look at it as a true, honest, and open sharing, rewarding system. We reward one another for the goodness, for the value that they bring forth in the community, but we sustain everyone. And that could easily be done with cooperation, proper leadership, right? I understand leadership. I've been studying leadership. I had taste of leadership in my past, so I understand it. And I want to raise the standards of leadership. I'd love to start with the top, Donald Trump. He can connect me to the Israel folks and we'll end wars together. That's the whole point.
China.
How much different do you feel, Jack, now that you're out of your comfort zone?
My comfort zone goes with me. No matter where I go, I am comfortable.
Yeah, I don't think this is too far out of his comfort zone.
Legitimately, though, Rose called it accurately, and thank you for seeing that with some compassion. I mean, I just walked away from the home where I raised my son. I walked away from the investment that I worked so hard to save. I wanted to pass that material and property on to my son and his family. And I tried so hard. I walked away. All the baby pictures, all the wedding pictures, all the records, all the shit. It's gone. Now it's in the landfill or wherever. So God's shown me plenty of opportunities to practice grief and loss. I've been learning how to roll with the punches, how to accept what life brings, and to accept it with a smile, to look for the opportunity, to look for what's greater, because there is no empty space. Praise God. It's in the space where we find God. It's in the space without confinement, in the infinite. God, I get off on these thoughts on God and I just disappear. This is how I spend my day these days. It blows my mind that my family and friends think I should be kept away, pushed away by accusations and insults. There's lots of records of it, right? People from my present, my past, they think all sorts of crazy things.
People think you accept that you might have to live with that?
Sorry, what?
I think he was actually saying what I was going to say. So go ahead, Dennison.
I said, do you think that you will be able to accept the possibility you may have to live with that?
I do. Here's what I've learned. I only have,
obviously not without giving up, but that you may never be successful.
I've already achieved much, and that'll never be taken away from me. All the achievements and the overcoming that I already have done, whether people see it or not, doesn't matter. I know the truth. I took myself away from where you were.
Can you accept that you may never reconcile with your son or your family? That they may not be able to.
No, I actually don't accept that. There's not enough. It's completely illogical. I mean, it's actually based on my honest observation of the facts I know, it's completely illogical that people have stayed away from me for so long. So since it defies logic I bring it to God. And so it's the facts. God is kept, even though I've harmed no one, I've threatened no one. My family, my career, now my home, everything is gone. And the world is just watching, waiting.
Could this be your sacrifice?
It
And
has
is this and
yeah.
can you accept
Jack,
that
Jack, I
this
have
may
to say
be,
one thing, Jack, real
you may
quick,
have to
Dennison.
live your entire life
Yeah,
with
real
it?
quick. You're trying to corner him, but yeah, Jack, I didn't. When you were talking, Jack, when you were talking about you were going to travel and stuff like that, I didn't believe you. I didn't believe you were going to do it, and you're doing it. So I just wanted to say I didn't believe you at first, but you're actually doing what you said. And the one thing I know about you, the one thing I've learned about you, Jack, the one thing is that you always back up what you say. If you say something, you come to fruition with it. And I respect you for that. That's what I wanted to say. Sorry, Dennis. I'm sorry to cut you off, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Sincerely. Because that is something I do. And honestly, it's the only way we can live. None of us, no one can force anyone else to be honest. And the only one who can lie to you is yourself, really. I mean, others can tell lies, others can be wrong, but what we choose to believe is up to us. And my life started improving as soon as I started overcoming my excuses and my blame. I recognized if I was going to say something, it was up to me to be able to prove it. You know, if I say I'm going to do something, I better follow through, or at least cover my steps and ensure that there's a reason I'm not following through. No more excuses, no more blame. We're going to change this world. That's what I'm sure of, man.
Why would you choose not to believe someone?
Jack, the one thing the best compliment I give to you, Jack, the best compliment I give to you, good or bad, argue or not, you are very consistent. And I appreciate it about you. I appreciate your consistency. That's what I was trying to say.
Thank you, Mike. And Denizen, I appreciate what you asked. This has been a problem. I've said for a long time, people have misunderstood me. People have underestimated me. I'm very honest about what I am saying, what I am doing. I can explain and show why I'm saying and doing the things that I'm saying and doing. But what I've learned is the ego mind, the mind that's scattered and confused, it doesn't really care. It has no care at all. It just wants to stay secure and comfortable. I didn't get that option anymore. My comfort and my security was kind of yoinked out from under me. I haven't had a secure paycheck since 2018. And yet, seek ye first the kingdom of God and God's righteousness, and all things shall be provided for. And I think my life shows me that. I've learned how to enjoy with conservation, enjoy with very little. But God's provided everything for me, God being life, being the universe. So those patterns have been with me for a long time, and I think they're with a lot of us. But we get worried, and then we wear our worry like it's a badge. I'm so worried, aren't you? My worry is greater than your worry. And then my wound is greater than your wound. And we're driving each other insane. Literally, we're driving each other insane.
Do you think being lied to requires focus then? Because you basically said you're not listening. Like if the information someone gives me is not impactful and I'm not using it to make my decisions or anything, then that essentially makes it impossible for someone to lie to me?
Yeah, it would. But the downside to that is it's real easy to overlook or dismiss things without fully considering them. This is what I see the world has
Jack,
been doing with each other. What's that,
Jack,
Mike?
do you think, and I would love to ask this question, Jack, do you think Jack, do you think the most terrifying thing in life is to let go and let God take over? That's the most terrifying thing in life.
No,
Like
yeah.
just to completely, now, gentlemen and Noel, just to let go and say, you know what, I'm going to put it in his hands. Drop your ego, drop all of your innuendos, just let go. Is that the most terrifying thing in life?
Mike, that is a great question because, yes, in the end, that's what it is. Where every bit of our fear, it comes from the ego mind, and the ego only exists to lead us to death. It's the ego is there under the pretense that it's here to protect us, which it is. It creates the survival mechanism, our logic and our reasoning. Our mind processes data far faster than our consciousness actually does. There's a higher intelligence that moves through us, and we're just the vessel, we're just the vehicle. But we were born into a world of confusion, and confusion had been normalized and enabled throughout time. Crap, I'm trying to swing it back to where you were, Mike. Whatever it was you said.
That the scariest thing to do is to let go.
Thank you. Thank you. The scariest part. So the ego, which is there to protect us and keep us alive, it is actually that which keeps us away from God. It keeps us away from love. Our fears, our judgments, our doubts, our insecurities, those keep us away from greatness, from achievement, from success, from love, from beauty, from all the good things. Doubts and fears and anxieties, those only exist from the untrained mind.
Why do you think that keeps us away from what we want or desire?
It's how it works. In my mind, the way I see it, like the body is a very complex instrument. It's an avatar, right? It's a physical form for the purpose of the spirit having an experience. And within us is built-in safety mechanisms. The entire universe is based on cause and effect, down to the subatomic energetic level, the qualities of energy and the way that they interact between the fields and the forms. It's overly complex, but it works perfectly. It's complex systems within complex systems within complex systems beyond definition.
It's really complex, but it does work in synchronicity. I'm
Yes.
told.
And also sir, do you and Jack as well? I'm sorry to cut you off, sir, but do you think maybe the way people are their upbringings and their family and their their surroundings affects people to not be as spiritual as others? Do you think that comes into fact? Your upbringing and maybe abusive parents or just a really bad situation. Do you think it affects people spiritually?
Could stifle it altogether.
Absolutely. The abuse, the addiction, there's energies and intelligence that works through us.
There are
Let me
some remarkable situations.
if you don't mind, Jack, I've been meaning to ask you something. Scott, is that okay?
Please.
Okay. So I feel like there's three themes going on here. First, there's the initial trauma that has started this adventure with Jack that can be discussed till the end to the ends of the earth, people can discuss what happened in the past. Then we have Jack's current way of life and the way that he's approaching each and every day with a positive attitude. And then we have this larger, bigger picture concept that he's in Washington, D.C. right now because he has a message for peace and he wants to end all wars, which is so huge that even Jack will admit that most people will think it sounds crazy and they can't even imagine how that could be. They wouldn't even be open to hearing him letting him speak. So in Spokane, Washington, he kind of like, it's like you can't be a hero in your own backyard. And now we've got some fresh faces who don't have like a weird history with Jack. And it could be simply about the message. So about that message, Jack, in terms of ending wars and the vision that you have for the future of humanity, you can't ignore the human condition that causes people to be such fucking assholes and hurt each other. So therefore, if you've ever considered the concept of the ages, there are a lot of people who believe that there is going to be a shift in human consciousness. Now, for me personally, it's just my opinion, without a whole entire shift in consciousness. And the first time I ever heard this concept was from Mark Passio. So I don't want people to think that I'm stealing a Truth Earth token.
Too late.
No, I'm stealing from Mark Passio. There has to be an aggregate consciousness change in order for your vision to come alive. I can't think of another way. So is it your contention that right now at this time, with what you've observed, that humanity is ready to rise in its consciousness so that what you are envisioning could be made possible?
I believe it's happening, Rose. I've seen a lot of signs. And the way I see me, I've been gathering knowledge and wisdom and inspirations. I've truly become a student of life. And I've gathered a lot of wisdom and inspirations from other people. Combine those with my own background and education, and this is where it's brought me to be. I trust that we can find a way. There's always a way. The ego is that which prevents the willingness, but I've been studying ego, human behavior, psychology, trauma. I'd love to become a spiritual advisor and a leadership coach for Donald Trump and his entire team. I think that'd be an amazing asset, right? An individual doesn't have to do the work themselves, but they need to do the work on themselves in order to be true and righteous. And I tell you what, God has allowed me the opportunity and the reasons. The world just disappeared from me. I didn't know what to do, so I had to improve. And I've been working on me for a long time because I'm the only one who I can control. But my faith is in God. And I don't know how it's going to work, but every one of us, we get to play a role. We get to play a role in our life. We get to play a role in the lives of others. And I'm really hoping to play this role where I'm just a messenger. I'm a working class man, but who God created me to be, inspired by Gandhi, Dr. King, the labor movement, all the organizations that are standing up trying to bring a better world.
Well, Jack, it's possible. I mean, look at the vice president. You know, a Marine Corps veteran from a broken home. You know, that is the vice president of the United States. So it's possible. Everything is possible, Jack. Everything is possible with the right amount of faith. You know, with the right amount of faith, is possible.
I think it's always good to have like different game plans. I'm a big planner. We've already discussed this, Jack. Jason's next to me, and you know he always goes with the flow, and it drives me nuts. But I vote for plan A, plan B, plan C, for the next 48 hours and, then plan A, plan B, plan C for, the next week and all that jazz. But I know a lot of people disagree with me about that way of life.
I used to live that way, Rose. And then I wasn't allowed to anymore. I still have plans A through, Z in my head of different ways I can succeed, but they haven't worked out yet. So I plan to stay conscious. I plan to stay positive, and I plan to stay grateful until the day I die. And that's it.
I guess it's just part of my spiritual journey to accept that I can't puppeteer, control, and manage your adventure and make you explain to me how you're going to do this for Donald Trump, because I love the vision in my mind that you get to achieve the goal, but I like to see the process. I want to envision how it's going to happen. So, like I said, I'm going to have to deal with this frustration, and I'm going to have to be patient and continue to watch what happens.
It's coming.
Jack, how are you going to build that bridge? That's what we're waiting on. I mean, and I know you're right there, so we're getting close. The arc is here. I'm trying to,
Jack,
I want to envision it too.
Let's welcome Steve. How you doing, brother? It's been a while.
What's going on, Jack? What's going on, everybody?
Hello.
Yo.
Good to see you.
So you're on the road now, I see?
Because
Yes, I'm actually on the outskirts of Washington, D.C. now. My hope is through email and phone call. My hope is starting Monday or this week, maybe I can get some conversations going with people around here, because the goal is what I said, man. Want to end wars. Washington, D.C. seems like a good place to go.
Well, fuck, man, I got to tell you, I'll give you a little bit of props. I never thought you were going to do anything, to be honest with you. I know a lot of talk, not, a lot of forward action, but you're in fucking D.C., really. Well, I hope you live your dream, buddy. Get a hold of somebody that can help you make a difference.
Well, that's the goal. That's my prayer. My prayer is, my plan and prayer, back to kind of what Rose said, I'm going to continue working on me and who I am. I'm developing my gifts. Here's something I was considering earlier today. This is what I've been doing online the past several years. For those of you who have been a part of it, I've been developing my talents. Each of us has a unique gift. We each have a different talent. And in whatever way you want to describe it, I believe my talent is communicating. And the funny part about that is communication was the thing that terrified me the most when I was young. I didn't want to talk. Don't want to deal with people. I just tell me what job to do. I'll get the job done, but I don't need people. Well, I've been learning that I believe I do have a gift and a skill for communication. So my hope is, tying back the idea earlier, there's a lot of organizations and a lot of people who have inspired me, and I'd like to be a voice with them. I'd like to be a voice for the voiceless, those who don't have the confidence, don't have the courage, don't have the education or the ability to speak up the way that I can. So, Steve, I'm walking the walk, brother. I'm living this life without fear.
I seen you going through some shit, your daily streams, dealing with all the people that's got to come out and talk shit, whatever, but you've literally made it to Washington, D.C. I'm impressed, man. I can tell you, I was getting a little, I won't say bored, but I hadn't seen you do anything. It was a lot of talk, and a lot of shit going on in all of our lives, but there you fucking are, man. So I'll give you props for that, brother. I just hope you got your game plan. Don't give up.
Yeah, I I realized many years ago I don't have the option of giving up. It's not available for me. So my path is forward. I've got to continue despite and in spite of the circumstances. And Steve, this is what kind of frustrates me is that I honestly feel like the only failure I've made is I failed to create an opportunity to be given a chance. I can't control what other people will or will not accept from me. I can't control what other people will or will not offer to me. But had I been given a chance, I could have made a difference already. But this actually ties into the lesson I had to learn, and other people are going to learn this with themselves, I'm sure. The shame of being too late, realizing the would have, the could have, and then the consequences of what happened when we didn't take action when we could have. I had to process a lot of those thoughts of regret because I didn't act when I could have. I could have, and I didn't, found excuses and fears and anxiety and other things that were more important. I started lying to myself a long time ago. And this ties back into the earlier words I shared too about only the insane will lie to themselves. There's no reason to lie, ever. The consequences of lying are far worse than being honest and being truthful. And sometimes people lie when they're afraid, especially when they're afraid. That's a theory I have too, is that fear drives lies. I don't tell lies. I ain't afraid of nothing.
Well, you got to deal with a lot of shit, all the pushback for off-topic, issues and, whatever. People come in here just to fuck with you, but it's like, I don't see a lot of people doing shit. What are you doing? You know what I mean? What are you doing other than working and paying your bills? And, what are you doing for your community? What are you doing for your country? What are you doing to better something other than yourself? So a lot of selfish people out there, but, grasping the idea that we can stop all wars. I mean, it's still, in my opinion, it's pretty far-fetched, but, if that's what you're going to, put your purpose in life for, then so be it. You know what I mean? It's just the fact that you get you're picking a you're picking a purpose that is literally going to be critiqued every inch of the way. So
and it has been. You're right.
So I just say fuck them. Do what you want, makes you happy. If it makes you happy, then fucking rock and roll. To everyone who's going to hate on you, they're always going to be haters. You know what I mean? It's just white noise in the background. You get used to it. You know what I mean? Whatever. So, but hey, brother, I saw you out here traveling. I figured I'd hop on and say hi. A little free time today, so
I appreciate you doing so, man.
Good luck with your journey, man. And I wish you the best, pal.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much, Steve. Sincerely, I'm grateful our paths crossed. You're a cool dude. You see the craziness. And this online adventure, it's part of my history. It's part of our history. The history we've written, alone and apart, it's ours. There's no denying the past. The past is done. There's no undoing it. There's no reason to be crying over what was. There's no reason to cry over what is not. There's every reason to settle into the peace of the present moment. Line yourself with the breath and the energy of love as often and as frequently as you can. and then nurture that energy of love and peace and joy. Feel your heart smile, and feel that smile grow through you, through your body, from the physical being into the energetic being, so that there's a bright smile, a bright light with you that is you wherever you go, because that's who you are. All of us are. We are the light of God that has been sent into the world. We've been refracted into who we are.
Let me see your light, Jack.
As weird as it may sound, Jack, all the craziness that you've experienced online is preparing you for what you have to do here. So it's been a good journey for you to get to where you're getting.
I actually trust that's the case, sincerely. Everything has a way of falling into place. That's been the way of my life. You know, really the lessons I've learned, it's pretty obvious and simple. When shit changes, there's no reason getting upset. None. I mean, you can find reasons and excuses, but the cost of getting upset versus keeping a clear mind, having a heart that has a smile and gratitude, and realizing that you're continuing on. This word grace, man. Grace is a gift that is available for us all to know. So I encourage everyone, consider it. If I was to seek the grace of God, how would I know it if I found it? What would the grace be? What is grace to me? These words, these ideas, grace and goodness and perfection, these things are actually kind of important to consider, because it's who we are. We are bodies in form, but we're here to be the essence of holiness, of goodness, to bring the grace of God forth through us. The grace of God, it's very simple, like Jesus said. The yoke is light, the burden is easy. It's not that hard to be honest, to be kind. And truly, the only thing that prevents us from being honest and kind is a frightened mind. Right? Fear and confusion, those two go together. And then through fear and confusion, people get the idea it's okay to lie to each other. It's not okay to lie. The entire banking system, government system, I'll probably share this thumbnail tomorrow. The idea that politics and economics are the religion of money. It's part of the tradition for the religion of money. You have politics and economics. So those are lies that we're going to disclose, we're going to uncover, and I sure would love to discuss with Donald Trump, Elon Musk, the chairman of the Federal Reserve dude, and maybe the Pope at the Vatican. And I want to talk to anybody I can. Who's in charge of this place? I feel like a Karen, man. I want to talk to.
I want to talk to the manager.
I
Jack,
did.
this is a Wendy's.
Well, the United States government has become a corporation. And so I want to speak to the bosses. That's who I am. I'm a worker's advocate. I'm an advocate for the truth. I love standing on the side of truth. I used to fight for the truth, but today I simply want to offer it and present it.
What when you say the United States is a corporation, do you know what laws apply to that? What brings you, to them to say, look, there may be something here that I need to discuss? In other words, are you familiar with the Libra Code?
I'm familiar.
I can think of a real world example.
The Libra Code
of my head from earlier today.
The Libra Code states that if the government starts acting as a corporation and starts collecting monies, fines, fees, etc., from its citizenry, then they have to operate under the guise of a corporation. And that's what they're not doing. That's what they're not following. The rule they're not following is that they have to follow rules.
All right.
So if you look into that, that may be something that you can, step up with.
It's possible. It is.
Okay.
Hey, I'm actually thinking it's time to shut down. Oh, Scott, in response, though, I get what you're saying. And yes, I know enough of the code, I know enough of the law to know that I'm on the right side. Okay.
Well, that ties into the Act of 1871. So if you put those two together, you're definitely on the right side.
Well, and what I want to speak to the men and women in Congress about and the White House is leadership. What it means to be in a place such as in the position such as their own, what the expectations and privileges might be. See, I am an educated citizen. I understand the difference between right and wrong, and I believe that under like Citizens United and some of the corrupt, nonsensical judge decisions, I think a lot of the men and women in Congress, particularly Donald Trump and his billionaire oligarchy buddies, who he's bringing in the oligarch frat boys, the billionaire frat boys, they're moving into DC, just cleaning house, right? I think they've been misled, and I'd like to speak with them to make sure that their minds are not confused, to make sure that King Trump actually knows where he stands in service to the American public, not so much over top of. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Just be careful calling him King Trump. They might not let you into the White House.
I'm being a little sarcastic, but that's what the world is enabling him to do. I thought America overcame this royalty nonsense, but no.
John Adams fucked it up.
What's that?
You're talking about
John Adams fucked it up when he insisted on having a president.
Huh. I'll have to look.
I think that we have a scenario. Sorry to interrupt you, Jack, but I think we have a scenario right now when you're going there and you say you want to talk to some of the powers that be. Underneath Trump, I mean, I think the way this is looking right now is he is, in essence, taking a bowling ball and going after a lot of people, including judges now.
Who is he?
Well, the administration altogether. We've got.
Hey, Jack, thanks for having me up, man. Just doing a little gardening, getting prepared one of our locations for the upcoming season. It was good listening. I think you're on the right path, and all the best of luck to you, man.
Thank you. Blessings to you, brother.
Nice to
see everyone. Good seeing you.
You as well. What were we saying?
Basically,
Trump took a bowling ball to the.
Oh, the Trump. Thank you. Yeah, we can do better. The world deserves better. All of us can do better. The world deserves all of us to do better, to be better. And better is, all we got to do is stop trying so hard to be right. Start focusing on being true. We live in a world of liars because exaggerators, people who exaggerate, they live in a fairy tale. This is what I've been facing, and I didn't realize how severe the consequences are. We're going to change this world together, and I think a while ago, Denizen or someone was pointing out this. It would require a severe change in values, a severe shift in principles. And yes, that's exactly what I'm hoping to accomplish, or at least get started. We've got the systems in place. We've got everything we need through logistics, technology, communication. We've got everything we need here on Earth to totally transform and improve the way of life for everyone.
But you're talking about using their systems. Is that what you're alluding to? Is the systems that they have already are there. We just need to kind of capitalize on that or take control of that. I mean, I'm just trying to understand. I'm sorry.
Yes, we don't walk away from the developments and the good that has developed in a lot of the practices and stuff, because there are ways and methods of knowledge. We've learned a lot of different things, but now I think it's time for mankind to start uniting together instead of dividing from what we've learned. It's shown in many different ways. And part of this, it comes back to being a gatherer of information. Where I left Colorado, that Ben Davidson, that's what he is. He's taken his mind of data and analytics and he's applied it to a number of different fields of science to get a bigger picture, because the fields of science, they're narrowly focused. It's their profession and what they're doing. So right now, the world has generated naturally and organically a lot of citizen journalists, a lot of citizen scholars, and whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of generic knowledge that's rising up from the unknown here today. YouTube is a part of it. Jack Talcott's trying to be a part of that, right? Trying to grow into some of the more known, but I'm not special. There's a lot of little channels right now, men and women who are sharing inspiration and true wisdom. They've clearly learned from something. We're living at this time right now where we could take the technology and the entire idea of economics, which I'll get into this part tomorrow, but we just have a problem in the distribution system. We change the kinks in the distribution system so that value, wealth, energy, rewards are more appropriately shared. We won't have issues of poverty, but we also won't have a billionaire class anymore either. We're going to bring some reason to this. That's all I'm suggesting. And that's what I'm doing here in DC. I better start wrapping up.
Jack, that's how you just took the words out of my head. Hey, do me a favor, throw me in back. I want to talk to you. And Dennison, if you don't mind sticking around, I wouldn't mind talking to you a little bit.
Blessings. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you. Dennison, thoughts from you?
Not if you're trying to wrap it up. I was hoping to talk about the escaping lies topic. Get into that a little deeper.
We didn't get into it as deep as we could have, or as deep as I'd hope. But escaping lies is actually a perfect connection to the religion of economics, the religion of money.
Right.
So we'll swing back, and hopefully my intention is to do this again tomorrow. So if you're available, watch for me tomorrow around the time.
Roger that.
Okay. And peace. You're welcome to stick around. It sounds like Scott wanted to chat. And if you're able to stick around, you are welcome. Brothers and sisters, to all of you. If you tuned in or found this at a later time, thank you and blessings to you. Do the subscribe thing, help the algorithms, invite others, because it's true. Who I am who I am. I'm Jack Talcott. I actually think I'm a pretty lovable dude. I think that's what God created me to be. That's what I love to be, love to do. I love to be lovable because I feel right when I'm lovable. Sometimes lovable means being humble, means being able to be wrong. And I've been shown to be wrong a lot, but it doesn't mean I'm always wrong. Don't exaggerate. Don't lie to yourself. Don't fool yourself into believing that someone is always wrong, right? Or that everyone does this, everyone else is this. No. Don't lie. Don't fool yourself. Speak accurately. Speak with truth. Because when you pay attention to the words you choose and make sure you align with truth, well, then you feel a more lightness in your heart. There's less guilt. There's less resentment. There's less, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. No, they shouldn't have said that. And I should have said this. And they should have did this. And you ever play those ego mind games, that chatter nonsense? I used to live in that. Praise God, I escaped. God allowed me to escape my lies of being unworthy, my lies that I couldn't do more. I could always do more. I could have done more in the past. Maybe I could have done more today. Maybe I could have done more here, right now. I never really know. But I do know that sometimes good enough is perfect enough for me, right? If we give ourselves permission to let go, to move on, to redirect our focus and our energy, not from the past, but into the future, because this timeline just keeps going. It keeps going. Align yourself with the present moment to escape the past, to escape the future. You escape time and the limits of it. Embrace and surrender yourself into the present moment of who you are, because who you are is exactly who God created you to be. So find ways to love yourself. Find ways to love others, despite the obvious signs that you shouldn't. And this is where I found peace in my heart, joy, love. It's how we're supposed to be. I'm going to wrap it up here, but sincerely, for later, I don't know when, but it appears our friend Illumitami is streaming again. And as he invited, I do hope to return with him. So feel free. There's the link in the chat. Go ahead and click on over there, pay attention. We'll see what happens in the future, but I'm going to wrap it up from here. I'm feeling a little tired. Brothers and sisters, I love you. Breathe with love for you, with me. Why? Because we can. And brothers and sisters, that's what life is really about. We're here to be who you are. I could keep going on and on. I'm going to wrap up. Sincerely, thank you again. Until next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Peace for everyone.